Welcome to the Meditation and Flow podcast. My name is Juan Pablo Castañeda, and I help people eliminate stress and construct and strengthen their meditation practice to achieve their goals with the power of meditation, with the power of a great mentality. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So get ready to open your heart fully and leverage the power of your intention and your energy and your emotions and your thoughts to grow in awareness and keep growing by keeping practicing again and 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 again, remaining present, enlightening yourself with your own reality because you understand that you came to the planet to experience miracles, purpose, and connection. And what a best way to experience connection with the awesome life coach Tina Woodger. She's right here with me. Such a pleasure and an honor to have her right in front of my screen. Well, right in front of me in my screen. And it's a privilege, Tina. I love that we're here. I love the topic of today. And we're going to explore such a beautiful, interesting conversation. I'm very excited and I'm very happy to start letting the conversation unfold into our lives in front of us. How are you? Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here as well, as always. It's so awesome to connect with you, and it's such a pleasure and honor as well. And yeah, I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing also very good. I had a really interesting morning. I'm very excited to share everything with you because we're going to explore today how we are always free and able to be really vulnerable, to be really imperfect, to be really authentic, to be ourselves unapologetically. So, how are you feeling to explore this topic today?
Yes, I'm so excited. It's such an important one, and I love it. I love it so much. And yeah, you were saying to me earlier how you had a dream around this. So I'm really curious to hear what that dream was.
Yeah, I had an awesome, terrifying dream, and I want to share it with you because I think um, it was a beautiful gift that I was able to wake up earlier than usual. I was like, oh man, I woke up and I didn't get my full sleep, but I was able to write my dream down and then meditate on that dream. And I think I got such a valuable insight because let me tell you what I dream about. I was trying to do a yoga pose. I was like it was like a triangle pose where you're like trying to how do you call it when you're switching sides?
Do you mean?
Well, I was trying to do the pose, but it was difficult. And I was applying so much effort and I was trying so hard. But the pose, I had a sensation like, no, you're not doing it right. You're not achieving the pose. Like you're not succeeding at doing the pose. And I was okay, let me try harder, let me try harder. And I was sweating in my dream. It was like a very quick scene, but it was very profound. I was trying so hard to be able to do the pose right, but I had a sensation that said, "You're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. You're not getting it." And then I woke up filled with guilt. I was like, "Oh man, I didn't do it right. So guilty because I didn't do it right." And I was like, "Oh, so triggered." So of course I grabbed my notebook and I wrote it, and then it was like that exact sentence. I mean, I didn't recall more. It was like you were trying to do the yoga pose, but then you had a sensation that you were not doing it right, and you felt so guilty because of it. That was it. And I woke up and then I realized that I have been trying and trying to like create more content, to thrive in my life, to achieve all the success that I want to achieve, to like, yeah, to have a sense of success, I would call it. But this trying, this applying effort has been, it was the sensation that I described in the dream. Like I was not doing it right. And because I was not doing it right, I was feeling guilty. So it was so beautiful because then I that opened up to a very big journaling morning where I was like, okay, okay, let's explore. And that's when I realized that that was gonna be the topic for today's podcast because it's so interesting how we so often feel like we're not enough. We're not enough as we are, and we need to try more and we need to apply more effort in order for us to be worthy and to be successful and to be enough, right? So I'm very curious and I want to explore this idea so much so that at the end of the podcast, at the end of this episode, we have a full understanding of how we're always worthy to just be how we are, to just surrender to who we really are without trying, because it's not that we're not worthy, it's that we're trying to be worthy, the thing that keeps us, that the thing that holds us back, right?
Mm, yeah, it's so interesting because that sense of worthiness, like you were saying, that is a natural feeling that we can have, and that is so beautiful to have. And we don't have to do anything to feel worthy. It doesn't matter what we do,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what we achieve, it doesn't matter who we are, what we have. Like, none of that matters. We are all worthy of love and self-worth, like all of us naturally, no matter what. And right now they're still in the like field of belief. There's still this sense of
yeah,
you have to do something to be worthy, or you have to be a certain way, and you have to maybe fit into a certain picture of what success looks like, and then you can feel worthy. And the problem with that as well is, as we know, everything comes from within. So even when we do achieve success that looks like success in the eyes of others or whatever it might be,
yeah,
that's not going to make us feel worthy. Nothing on the outside will ever make us feel worthy. Like we
yeah,
can get further and further and further in our development, in our success, in building our whatever it is that we're building. And that's not going to make us feel worthy.
yeah,
It's doing the work in ourselves, coming back to ourselves and dissolving dissolving those beliefs that worthiness comes from doing something or being something. And it's coming back to it, coming back to the core, coming back to our connection, coming back to love, to self-love, to self-appreciation, and to trusting ourselves. Trust is such a
mm,
big one as well. When we think about the different frequencies of love, worthiness, appreciation, and trust, they're all different. They're all part of it, and they're all different. And trust is really coming back to that surrendering and leaning into and knowing that yes, we can trust ourselves, we can trust the universe, we can be supported, and we
yeah,
can allow ourselves to be supported. We can feel worthy of being supported. Mm.
yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So valuable what you're sharing because it's so connected, right? When we are worthy, when we feel worthy, then it's easier to trust because we are worthy, right? Because
Mm.
we believe that the universe will give us everything because we are worthy. So then it's easy to to let go. I was gonna say hold. It's easy to let go. It's easy to relax and to surrender, to completely open our hands and give each other to the universe. If we feel like we're not worthy, then it's easier that we try to hold and that we try to squeeze our possessions or our circumstances because we don't trust, right?
Mm.
And I also love what you shared about the beliefs. I think is the beliefs. I remember my childhood because I was trying to understand why am I feeling like I need to apply this much effort in order for me to be successful, and that meant worthy of success, right? For me to be successful, I need to be worthy of success. So why am I feeling like I'm not so worthy of success? And I'm very curious to hear your points of view. Why? And then I would like to share my own points of view about what do I think about why do I believe that? So, in your own words, what would you say that we create these beliefs in our lives?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I think there's a couple of different perspectives, and one of them is the perspective of what we experience as individuals, and when we look at ourselves, and then we look at our childhood, and we look at
Mhm.
the conditioning from the childhood, and all of these kind of things, and how our beliefs are formed through the conditioning from parents, society, school, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And then there's the other way of looking at it as well, which is, and they're both the same, just different perspectives, is the wider field of what is in our wider kind of belief system, or what are the general kind of shadows that humanity is experiencing right now. Because we are all individually experiencing those shadows, and we are all here right now to transmute that energy into different frequency, into a higher frequency. And so I think it's so interesting when we think about these things because yes, there is childhood stuff there. It can be really awesome to look at where did it come from a
Yeah.
perspective of my individual life and how it was formed. And I think it's also so beautiful and valuable to keep in mind that this isn't only a me thing. Thousands of other
Mm.
people have experienced the same or similar things. They also have that pain within them. Like, this isn't just a me suffering on my own thing. Like, this is everywhere. This is happening everywhere. And we're all experiencing similar kind of pain or suffering or shadows. And
Yeah.
these are experienced by us all. And they're also there to be transmuted into something new. So I love how we can keep that perspective rooted in the kind of looking at ourselves and our own journey as well.
Yeah. 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 So beautiful. So beautiful. I remember now. Now, if you ask me why do I think that I created that belief? Because I have been experiencing in my life this belief. I have been creating situations where I'm applying effort. I'm applying then more effort. Then I am applying more effort, and it's never enough. It seems like whatever I do is not enough in order for me to really start feeling very worthy, right? Very worthy and successful. And of course, I feel worthy and successful in some areas and in some aspects, and in others, I keep struggling. So, why? I was asking myself that question. And today I remember the situation because I've always looked for my brother's approval, and I never really got it so much in my childhood. And then I remember a time I went to Montessori school. And Montessori schools, how they work is you have a plan. We call it the monthly plan of tasks that you get to do in the month. And you have your mathematic tasks. You have your Spanish classes, Spanish topics, tasks, like your language tasks. You have your geography tasks, right? So you get to do all these tasks and you choose when. So it's very beautiful because Montessori really respects the time and the space of each student, right? So I was very fast. I would do all the mathematic tasks quickly. I'm talking about third grade, so I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I would finish all the mathematic tasks, all the Spanish tasks. And then this one time I finished all the tasks. And then my teacher, out of goodwill, she said uh, she brought me to the front of the class, and she said, "Hey, everybody, give it up for Juan Pablo, a big round of applause, because he finished all the tasks of the month very quickly and very nicely." And like some of all, like that was kind of awkward because my peers were not as fast as me, probably, right? And then the girl that I really liked was like, "Oh, congratulations, Mr. Perfect." Something like that, he said. Like it was kind of cute. I mean, it was not an energy of like um rejection. It was not rejection. It was kind of, I remember that with, I liked it. And then I started to hang out more with her. So I probably then started to believe, I learned, I conditioned my mind. It was an experience that made me learn. I made the emphasis that it was something learned, that um, I needed to be perfect. I needed to be really good. I needed to be almost, yeah, perfect in order for me to be worthy of this attention that I did receive when I was craving it, because I didn't receive it so much in other aspects of my childhood, including my, well, everybody has different aspects, but my father, my mother, my brothers didn't pay too much attention to me. So when I receive all this attention, I understood, okay, I need to shine, I need to be good, I need to be perfect, and then I will get what I really want, all the attention. So so now I'm posting on Instagram, and then I find myself with a count of likes that in my mind is not enough, because there are enough. I mean, my socials are growing at its pace, but in my mind there are not enough. And then I try to make perfect videos, and this perfection is making me feel so unworthy, because me applying more effort means, well, the way you do the videos, the way you speak is not enough. So it's so beautiful to be able to speak it out loud, because not only that is the belief, also I believe that if my likes are not more, if I don't get more reach, if I don't get more approval, then I would not be able to attract enough clients. So I will not be able to succeed financially in my profession, in my career. So then it's, of course, it's scary. Of course, I will try to do the perfect yoga pose so that I really be perfect, and then I'm worthy of everything that I want. And let's dissect this dynamic a little more, right? Because I don't believe I'm the only one trying harder and applying more effort in order to feel at ease, in order to feel loved and worthy and enlightened. Because we do get a sense of, oh man, without conflict. It's so beautiful life when we're just completely surrendered to the present moment. But we
Mm.
don't experience so much of that energy because we're trying harder, because we're applying more effort. So let's talk about social media, if you want. What are some of the stories that can cross our mind in order for us to mold our message, or to like be afraid sometimes to speak in, or to share our voice and our messages and our videos and our pictures, whatever kind of form or format, more freely and with more ease and with more uh, relaxation?
Mm, yeah, I think there's so many different like aspects part of that. So I think one of them is because social media is like putting yourself out there to anyone who might see it. It's not only certain groups or people that you've chosen. It's kind of just putting it out there in the whole world, and
Yeah.
that's it. So that's a whole nother level because I think even us as individuals, I mean,
Mm,
some of us don't even sometimes feel completely comfortable with ourselves. I've had times in my life
yeah.
where being on my own was horrible. Like, that was like the worst. That's how uncomfortable I felt within myself, that being by myself was terrifying. And I would like constantly be around people because otherwise when I was by myself, I'd like sink into this like depression and real deep unworthiness as well, and like all of these kind of things. So then,
Mm,
there's the self, and then there's your close friends. Like, how comfortable are you with truly being honest around that? Do you feel safe enough within yourself to share yourself honestly with your close friends? That isn't always a given either. So then
yeah.
there's that. And then there's your family as well. Usually you can feel more comfortable around them because it's family, but they can be more triggering. So then there's
Yeah.
also like that as well, where you might be like, actually, to some level, you might not feel as comfortable with them at all. And it might be
Mm-hmm.
easier with friends because you've chosen your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, for me, like sharing my voice started with journaling. Like journaling
Mm,
was such a beautiful way for me to
mm,
share my voice in a safe way and to
yeah.
really just be myself and express myself unfiltered, because we're so used to filtering ourselves depending on which kind of situation we're in. If we're like speaking to someone from the public or in like an authority position or something, like that might be a different filter, like all these things. But in your journal, you can just fully be yourself and you're completely safe
Yeah.
to be yourself, unfiltered. And then that can grow. So then once you realize that it's safe to do that, then maybe you'll attract a coach and you'll start working with a coach. And with a coach, you can authentically, really deeply share yourself in such a vulnerable and beautiful way.
Mm,
That's one of the whole points of coaching, right? Is to have
yeah.
that space to really be yourself. And
Especially
then,
if
okay.
if we got you as a coach, then oh man, of course, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting, but that was a necessary thing to say because I experienced that so much when I'm in my coaching sessions with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that. Thank you. And yeah, and then there's like the different steps. And then eventually we can be like, right, I know that there is a message within me that wants to be shared
Yeah.
because it's it's important right now that we all share vulnerably,
Mm,
because then we are breaking down those walls of I have to be like this, or I'm not safe if I'm like that, or like all these things. Like when I watch people sharing themselves unapologetically and
yeah.
truly from the core with so much love and passion and all
Mm,
of these things, I feel so inspired. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. So
yeah.
it's so valuable right now to be sharing our voices in these ways and to do it openly in that way. And then there are these things, okay, so attachment to outcome. That is something
Mm,
that absolutely has to be let go of because we never know what the outcome will be. And the more open we are, the more we're actually allowing whatever the best outcome is to come to us. If we're
yeah.
attached to a certain one, we're directing our energy to that outcome. And that might not be the best one, or it might just not be the right one or resonate or something. And then we're
Yeah.
closing doors to these other ones, which will be so much better. And also, when you're attached to outcome, that's when you start thinking too much about what is the result, and then you're not in the flow anymore. You're thinking like, what's the result? What am I going to get from it? Oh, it's not working. Like
Yes.
all of these thoughts will come up. And
Yeah.
so completely surrendering to the trust, to trusting
Mm,
the process, to just coming back to to the self and to the reason why you're sharing, which is it's important to share right now. My
Oof.
voice wants to be shared right now. Coming back to that, letting go of the attachment to outcome is so important. And then also comparing ourselves to others, that's a huge one as well. Like when we do that,
Mm,
we're just giving our power away straight away. And then
yeah,
also, we're not allowing ourselves to feel worthy to share ourselves in our way. We're thinking,
yeah,
oh, but they're doing like that. Oh, I have to be like that. Or, oh, they're better than me. Oh, I'm not good enough. Or then it just spirals into those kind of thoughts as well. And then
yeah,
again, you're distracting yourself
yeah,
with comparing yourself with others and things like that. So
yeah.
then coming back to the self and being like the only person I can ever compare myself to is myself. And then this is another thing, then it comes back to appreciation, right?
Mm,
Because when we're not attached to outcome anymore, when we're not comparing ourselves to others, we can always appreciate where we've come. Like appreciating first, oh my God, I'm bold enough to share my voice. And it doesn't matter how many views I've got, I'm doing it. 2 years ago, I wasn't able to share my voice. It would have been
yeah,
too scary. I wouldn't have been able to do it. And
yeah.
now I'm here. So appreciating yourself for even being here right now, for the
Mm,
journey that you went on to be here, and then
yeah.
appreciating that all the little bits that are contributing towards you being here right now in this place. And yeah, that's what was coming up for me anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. So I think it's so valuable, amazingly valuable everything that you are sharing. And I love it. I love it because yes, for in order to start, let's say, why is it important to share? I mean, why are we talking about us sharing our voice? Why are we talking about sharing it through social media? Well, for me, is when I talk with you, especially, it's evident that we are one with everybody, right? We might have different bodies. You are living in the UK. Your name is Tina, and I live in Mexico City, in Querétaro. I'm sorry, in Mexico, the country, in a city called Querétaro. So I am in a different body, but I am one with you, and that is tangible. So when we talk in social media, we talk to ourselves in social media into different bodies, right? Different bodies, but we're talking to ourselves. So if we are walking, let's say we're walking in a in a street and we're just wandering in our thoughts and we're having a conversation with ourselves and we do it in a free way, we do it in a pleasant way, we're relaxed, we're just walking. I don't know about you, but that's when I had the most valuable insights in my life. That's when I really got to know myself more, and that's when I really got to make better decisions based on my intuition, myself, in my listening to myself. So talking to ourselves is incredibly powerful. And we get to talk to ourselves by talking to others. Like, for example, now I'm talking to you, but I know and I feel that I'm talking to me because you're even using the same words and you're even using the same like you're sharing so many things that I would share, right? In so many ways. And we're talking the same thing, you in UK and me in the Mexico. So we are one. So by us sharing with others, we're sharing with ourselves. When I help others, I'm helping me. When I add value to others, I add value to me. So that's beautiful to understand. And I think that's beautiful to also honor because that way we get to relax a little and to say, okay, I'm just gonna share things to me because I am other bodies also. I am living in other countries also through different bodies. So that's first. And second, I think it's very interesting because we use likes, we use the numbers on our Instagram, the number of views, in order for us to know, in order for us to analyze, in order for us to categorize if our post, if our message was successful or was a failure, right? So starting because we don't have a really clear division that our posts and our videos and our messages is not ourselves. to start, right? If we get 0 views and 0 likes, that doesn't mean that I'm not worthy. That doesn't mean that I'm not valuable. It just means that my post is not valuable, right? Or it might be valuable, but it just the algorithm is probably random. Sometimes you get 1,000 million views, and sometimes you get 10 views. So it's kind of random, actually, right? And we get to honor that. And also, let's say it's not random. It's based on what you say. It's based on how you say the things. But more importantly, is based on the intention of your post, the intention of your reel. People feels the intention that you put into the video. Is no lying in there. There is no lying. People breathe. The intention that we have and that we emit to the field is just tangible. We can't lie. We can't hide our true intention. So the intention, I love that you share that, and that you also mentioned that, because the intention behind our reels, if we're um, making the reel with the intention of getting views and getting likes and getting clients and getting money and getting outcome, then people feel that, right? And I'm telling you because I experienced it. And lastly, people also feel your personality and your energy. So if we focus on our energy, in our personality, in our intention, and how we say the things, then whatever we say is more likely to be well received and is more likely to give us a great sensation, because the purpose is already achieved, right? If we have the intention of sharing our voice in order for us to have more understanding with ourselves, or to understand our mind better, or to be loving with ourselves a little more, one more day, because we're talking to ourselves, because we're everybody, right? So that intention can really make the difference, and I really want to practice more that, and frees us to expectations, and frees us to the sensation of, oh, I get to try hard. I need to put more effort so that I can create a perfect reel. Otherwise, I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna be worthy of success, and I'm not gonna be uh, whatever, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, it's just so easy to feel like effort equals outcome, or like the outcome that
Hmm.
you're looking for.
Yeah.
And really surrendering and leaning into the receiving, I find so important.
Mm.
And I love that way so much. And I love embodying that way and living that way because for me, when I live that way, it's really fun because then I'm more open to just the most random things happening and just things coming into my life that I wasn't even expecting because I'm just completely open to receiving. And I feel like the path of effort, like that just doesn't resonate with me because I know that it can be easy. Like I know it can be easy and fun. So it's like,
Mm.
well, I want it to be easy and fun. So
Mm.
so yeah, I don't want to be applying loads of effort all the time. Like obviously we have to apply some level of effort, otherwise nothing will happen at all. It's
Yeah.
all about that lovely balance though, I think. And also, yeah, not having that belief that through the effort I will be achieving the results or then I will be worthy. I have to work hard to get the good results. Like to me,
Yeah.
that just doesn't resonate anymore. I think it used to be the case, and that's maybe where it then came from, that kind of belief, or
Mm.
I think the most like potent manifestation of it was probably like in the Industrial Revolution or something, where there was like so much hard work and people were like getting richer, and there was more energy and things
Mm.
around. And now it's time to, I feel like, to let go of that belief. It's not true anymore. And that's cool. And we get to lean into that and we get to live
Yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
love that so much.
Yeah. 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 And if we think about it, the effort is trying. I think the reason of the effort, the reason that we apply effort, is that we are trying to succeed, right? Is that we are trying to get a certain outcome. So the effort is making us probably create a message that we believe that other people will resonate with and that will accept. Because speaking your thoughts and speaking your mind, you experience it when you're taking a walk. It's easy, it's effortless. So us trying to get a certain outcome allows us to, well, makes us apply the effort. And that comes back to the intention, right? What is the true intention of your wanting to post on social media? Because if your intention is pure, your intention is loving, then you don't need no effort.
Yeah. Yeah, then it just flows. I love that. And also what was coming up for me as well is that when we are sharing, especially when we use our voice out loud, because our voice, like everything that creates like frequency of sound, is like a more powerful manifestation of energy, of the frequencies around, right?
Mm,
So what was coming up for me was actually when we're sharing our voice, and even if no one watches it, even if it's not received by anyone, we are still creating that frequency wave in the universe more potently. So if we
yeah.
are sharing our voice and it's love and appreciation and all these beautiful things that we can
Mm,
share about, when we are sharing that out loud and creating more of that frequency in the
mm,
universe in a more potent way, even that is already contributing towards the collective kind of rise in consciousness. Doesn't even have to be heard. It doesn't even have to
yeah.
be received. It's already going into the field just by us doing it. And then the
Yeah.
intention behind then putting it out online is the intention is I am ready to share it with everyone. And so, you can speak it to yourself in your room, and that will probably already create amazing waves. But then infusing it with the intention of, I am wanting it to share it with everyone. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that frequency will probably go even further because you've already infused that intention of sharing it in that way.
Yeah. 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 I love it. I love it so much. And I love the fact that you chose, for example, the frequency of love to share with, to share to everybody, right? And I believe that's a really beautiful topic just to close and just to finish this episode. I would like to explore the idea also of why do we hold ourselves back from certain energies or topics, right? For example, it's nice that we have the intention to share love, right? And that can be through talking about meditation, spirituality, self love, probably yoga techniques, probably pranayama, kundalini, I don't know. You call it. I like meditation, right? So in order for us to be more uh, able and free to share our voice, it's kind of interesting how we get to choose our core values and topics because that's how we then are going to be able to create content easily, right? If we know that it's Monday, so today I get to talk about this kind of meditation, then I will use no time for me to decide. That's also a huge thing. I don't know for you, but what should I share today? What should I talk about today? So if we have more clarity on who are we and what are the core values that we want to transmit and what are the core ideas that we want to transmit, and it's gonna be easier. And for example, me, I've been always wanting to um, integrate playfulness and jokes, and I love being funny, I love making people laugh, and I love jokes. I appreciate them so much. Whenever somebody is telling a joke, I'm just like, oh man, that's so pleasant. I'm just like having this space where somebody's talking and he's only talking about joke, He's only telling a story for you to laugh. It's not nothing serious at all. For me, it's just so valuable. It's such a joy to listen people telling jokes. So I really love that. But I'm a meditation teacher and a mentality coach. So I have been struggling in a certain kind of way in order for me to be like, okay, man, if you start only telling jokes, then people is probably not gonna hire you and you're not gonna be successful because you are not being a meditation coach. What kind of meditation coach are you if you're only telling jokes? And I'm telling you, we have these thoughts, but I think and I know in my heart there's a certainty that what will bring me clients is the fact that I love working with a playful style, that I love jokes and that I love. So, how much and how many times are we holding these certain frequencies back, these certain aspects of ourselves that are really ingrained? For me, I'm telling you, playfulness and spontaneity and joking around is such a value, is something that really defines me, something integrated in my soul. And also meditation is integrated in my soul, and also going to the depths of our subconscious and going to the depths of our heart and experiencing these spaces in space, in life, in existence. So that's the path, right? That to be able to accept more ourselves, to be able to know ourselves more, to be really clear on who we are and what do we want to do, and then practice, because we learn by experience. If we don't take action, it's hard for us to learn. We did, for example, I did learn in elementary school that I needed attention to be worthy. And if I didn't get attention, I was not worthy. So now I get to practice being worthy without having the attention. And I mean, I'm not gonna be against receiving attention. But
Oh, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
no, 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 no. I I might probably, yeah, I might probably take my shirt off, I don't know, because just to receive more attention. Just kidding. Just I'm just joking around, but that's what we do, right? So we want to practice taking our shirt off. We want to practice doing whatever feels good. We want to practice being completely free, being completely ourselves, because we are here to be free and we are here to learn that we can experience what we really want to experience just for the mere fact that we are ourselves. Not because of what we do, not because if I tell jokes or not because I take my shirt off or not, not because whatever. I want to be worthy and feeling worthy, whether of any situation. How will I learn that? By practicing it, by experiencing it. If we don't experience it, it's harder for us to integrate that new chosen conscious belief.
Yeah, I love that so much. I love that so much. By practicing it, we experience it more than ourselves, and then we also see the outside physical manifestation of it, which is so much fun as well, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Ooh. So let's close this episode with a beautiful, quick uh, resume of all the highlights that we talk about in 1 or 2 minutes. How would you like that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Go ahead. You go ahead.
All right. I'll do it. Yeah, so I loved how we started the conversation of this kind of notion of how do we feel worthy? What is behind that? What are the beliefs that we gain from childhood for that? And also those beliefs that we gain from childhood are also in the collective. And so we're also here to transmute those beliefs for everyone. And then yeah, coming back to practicing being worthy without anything on the outside, just coming back to ourselves on the inside and giving that to ourselves, trusting ourselves, loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, cultivating worthiness within ourselves. And yeah, how to share our voice, why we're sharing our voice, what's important about that, and to surrender and let go of attachment to outcome, let go of these kind of beliefs around looking outside ourselves for whatever it is, letting go of all of that. And yeah, and then why it's so important right now to authentically, vulnerably share ourselves, being in our truth, feeling safe enough within ourselves to fully share ourselves exactly who we are and how we are, because
Mm.
that is also what is needed right now. And so to come back to that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I reckon. Was there anything I missed?
No, I think you covered it all. I mean, we're all one. We get to speak with ourselves by sharing with others. We're sharing with ourselves only because we are everybody. And that might be hard to understand or hard to believe, but on a deep level of your unconscious, you know you are one with everybody. And that's why you feel bad when you hurt somebody, right? And that's why you feel gratitude and you feel amazing when you help somebody. So, deep on a subconscious way, we know that we are one with everybody. And that's key, I think, in order for us to lose fear and to just know that, hey, I'm sharing with myself. That's why I love what I'm saying. So if I say it with to somebody that I am, then it's gonna be nice and well received. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And and choosing your values and choosing your topics is also important because um, that way it's easier for you to then just know what you will share and share it. Sometimes this confusion and we lose so many time deciding what am I gonna share today, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I love also with that is sharing what is present, like you did, you had that dream, and then you were like, I
Mm,
had this dream, this is what is present right now within me, and really honoring what is present right now and using that to share because it's alive right now. So
yeah,
then it's just so potent to share that right now. So
yeah.
yeah, I love that as well. Mm.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Because we also have the feeling of, oh, what if I show myself vulnerable? What if I share that I believe that I need to struggle and I need to apply effort in order for me to feel worthy? Then I'm gonna repel people. But all the contrary happens, I think, right? I think people can be listening to myself and going like, "Oh man, he's experiencing something similar than I am experiencing." So that really connects us. Vulnerability is magnetic.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. Vulnerability is magnetic. Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
Awesome way to finish. Thank you so
Yay.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been such an honor as always.
We're gonna have to celebrate with a party.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make a party, meditation party. All right. Well, let's say goodbye by putting our hands in our hand and saying namaste.
Namaste. Mm.